In this video, SLEW, a YouTube artist, will battle Aidan Hill, a 29-year-old master painter. They will have 2 hours to paint each other's portraits. The loser has to eat a whole tub of cadmium yellow.
Nah, like this is not a painting.
Wait, are you
man.
fucking kidding me? Look at this. Look at this transition.
I mean, at least there's color.
No, come on.
I look like I've been dead for 3 weeks here.
You gave me rosacea. I look like a raging drunk in this painting.
So in all seriousness, Aidan is one of the most masterful painters I've ever met. You're gonna learn a lot about him in today's video while we sit for each other to paint one another's portrait. A painting battle, a friendly battle, of course. Aidan is just next level at painting, and we just had a splendid day here at the studio.
Where am I looking? Am I looking directly into the camera? Am I looking at you? Okay. I'm Aidan Hill. I'm an artist living here in Brooklyn. I'm primarily an art instructor, but you know, I'm trying to get an art career off the ground too. How would I define a master? It's a tough question just because it sort of assumes a lot of value judgments about what is good, what is bad, even something as fundamental as what is art. And given that I don't necessarily feel like I can confidently define any of those things in like an objective way, you know, I have my own personal sense of what mastery is. And I guess it's one of those things that I don't think I can make a really great definition for. It's like, I know it if I see it, but it's ultimately my opinion. Art is a very subjective thing. That's what's fun about it, is even though I think everyone has to sort of, in their own practice, act as if they know what good is or what mastery is and what they're aiming for. You can't ultimately actually define those things, because as soon as you objectively define something, you end up excluding a lot of people who, you know, ultimately should be included, because I think anyone should be perfectly valid in considering themselves an artist and making like real art.
So what are we doing, Aidan?
Setting up, we're having a painting battle. We're painting each other. We're squaring off. Woo! Yeah.
The rules of this battle are quite simple. We have 2 hours to paint each other. We will be sitting in 20-minute intervals, which is pretty standard. So 6 total sequences of sitting. The lighting will be exactly the same for both of us to keep things constant, and we'll be painting each other's portraits. So we got the mega setup.
Yeah, you can see the painting right there as it unfolds. That's so sick.
I got the best view in the house right now. He's painting. And we got the camera so I can watch. Time to be serious.
We are
20 minutes on the clock.
Okay, so what do I love about painting? There are a few different components here. I would say a really big part of it, and this might sound a little dry and unromantic, but a really big part of it is that sense of self-improvement, having an activity that is challenging, that I feel like I'm constantly getting better at, and that sort of engineers some sort of meaning in my life. And it could have been a variety of things. It could have been music, it could have been even a totally unrelated career. And as long as I felt like I had sort of a challenge to set goals that I could achieve and sort of move through my life in that way, that's probably the primary thing that I like about it, is that I can sense myself improving. It's something that I can direct my attention to. You know, if I didn't have that, I think my life would feel kind of purposeless. The thing I like about the paper is like, the texture of the paper grabs the paint, but it's really smooth. You know what I mean? So like it spreads easily, but it also doesn't get like, it also doesn't get like streaky like a panel does. It's a good question, like why am I as interested in like technique specifically? I think it is like a natural proclivity. It's the kind of thing that I really gravitated towards as a kid. And different people have different sort of preferences as far as what they want to focus on. Like I definitely know some artists who aren't the strongest from like a technical representational standpoint, but are really good at finding interesting ways to communicate ideas and speak to other people in a way that I could only dream of. And so I don't know. I mean, I think that's one of those things that everyone just has their own particular, I don't know, like preference. It's like, what kind of music do you like? I don't know why I like the music that I like. It's just sort of certain things click, certain things don't. I've always been really interested in trying to make a 2D surface have that kind of like beautiful illusionistic form. It's just inherently really interesting to me. I just really like, making stuff look round on a canvas.
Last 20 minutes left. How are we feeling, Aidan?
Pretty good, I don't know. It looks like you. It looks enough like you. You don't have eyes, so we'll see if I actually put those in.
Okay.
I guess if I'm going to, it has to be in the next 20 minutes. So, fingers crossed I managed to get those eyes in there. Whee! A huge part of what I focus on when I'm painting is the notion of form. It's the notion of roundness, almost independent of a lot of other components visually. And so if I'm looking at my own paintings, the main thing I'm focusing on is I want to make sure that it has this great sense of roundness. It doesn't necessarily have to look photographic. It doesn't always necessarily have to look perfectly realistic. It doesn't even have to look like the person that I'm painting, but as long as it is round, it has that really tactile, three-dimensional quality, I feel like I've achieved my goal.
What are you doing with that brush?
So ideally, I want to make all of the transitions by introducing intermediate values, but especially on faster paintings, when I don't have a ton of time, I will, if there are any areas, like you see there's like a little sharp edge right here, like on the eye socket, I want to just, since I didn't have time to introduce another value, and generally I prefer not to do a lot of blending, but for something like that, it'll make the painting look nicer if I just get rid of some of these. And I don't want to overdo this. It's very easy to do too much and make the painting lose its kind of structure, because this sort of destroys the shapes a little bit.
This is gorgeous. It's like the most saturated part almost is right there on the nose, no? Like that beautiful little pink. I love that.
There's one final thing I want to do, and then I wanted to have you try just like putting a stroke down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Epic painting, Aidan.
All right, so now it's really exciting because Aidan's gonna sit for me, and we're gonna have the exact same light setup and everything, so it'll be a perfect constant variables for the painting battle. Is that right? What do you think?
I'm excited to see what you make. I'm pumped.
Oh man.
my part's out of the way. It's easy for me.
I'm nervous. I will say it's a weird experience streaming the painting to the model that you are painting in real time, and having Aidan, who is I'm in the presence of greatness, watching every stroke and decision I make throughout my process. So that was giving me some nerves, but I was also really excited. I weirdly felt prepared watching Aidan for his portrait of me for 2 hours straight. It was like a mental prep. Not that our techniques are similar by any means. It was just sort of, absorbing all of the steps he was taking in real time. It just gave me some clarity about my own process, and I was really excited to start. This will be my portrait, but we're going to listen to Aidan rant some more because he is so splendid talking about oil and his life. So he's going to rant some more during my portrait. It does. It's got a giant, nice sliver.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So
I'm happy. Okay, so what do I like about teaching? For me, it doesn't feel like a day job. It feels almost as fun as making my own paintings. It's an entirely different sort of experience. It's still connected to the practice of painting, but it's really fun because art making, when you're in your own studio and you're working on your paintings, it's a totally solitary thing. It's not until you finish the paintings, you have a show, or let's say you post something on Instagram, that you really get to feel any sort of interaction with other people. Teaching is a lot more fun in the sense that I get to work with people for 3 hours. I have 3 hours of like this intensely social time where I get to do nothing but talk about painting. I spend the whole week annoying my friends talking about all of these things swimming around in my head about like what's not working about my painting and how can I do it better, and why did this go wrong, why did this go right. And it feels like a dream come true that I get to have a 3-hour block every week where there are people that are like paying me to talk to them about that. I'm like, oh my God, I would do this for free. I would do this even if it wasn't a job. So it's a lot of fun that I get to do that.
Halfway through, 60 minutes. We got 60 more minutes. Feeling good. Aidan?
Yeah, I think it's looking great so far. I don't know, we're supposed to be more contentious. It's a battle,
Oh yeah,
If we're doing combat, we need to argue or something,
well,
right?
Tell me what you really think then. The funny thing about how I paint is like, I do these things so that I could affect it later. It's like almost like this was all just to like, so that I could prepare the next step. Yeah. The only function of it was for, the former to be affected. I think the other part of it that I really enjoy is, 18, just about to start undergrad and hadn't had any formal training or very minimal training. I'm from Reno, Nevada. There's not a ton of art training available in the middle of the desert. But
I really wanted to, I had a hunger for making beautiful realistic paintings, and especially at the time in like 2012, there wasn't anywhere near as much good online art content. And so I felt really like I didn't know how to do what I wanted to do. I could look at, a Rembrandt painting in a museum and say, like, I'd love to be able to do that, but it felt totally inaccessible to me. And it's taken, all 10, 12 years that I've been learning how to paint to get where I am, and it's still a huge process. There's still so much more I have to learn. But I fought really hard for what it is that I do know, and the idea that I could talk to like a previous version of myself and say, here is all of this information packaged in the most optimal, perfect way. Like, I would love to be able to do that, and the closest I have to being able to do that is getting to communicate that to other people. It's a lot of fun seeing people that just want to learn how to paint, and I feel like, oh my God, I can help them do that. I remember being in that spot. I remember knowing nothing, and really just all I wanted was to be able to make a beautiful painting, and I just had no capacity for doing so. And so being able to help people in that situation that I was in is really gratifying. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
Awesome job, SLEW.
2 hours. Now let's compare and see who wins the battle. I need to talk to you about Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video. Squarespace is the best website to build a website. You could see behind me all of these drawing easels. I have an art organization, Studio SLEW, where I host classes. The backbone of that organization is from my website, built from Squarespace. My website provides amazing scheduling tools and powerful e-commerce to boost my classes and just have everything run super smoothly as a business owner. Squarespace has award-winning templates and 24-hour customer service. Their user interface is so easy. They have this awesome drag and drop grid method, which makes building your website extremely streamlined while maintaining the most professional looking setup. Aidan has been to these classes. He's painted, he's drawn here. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that make this possible. My website being a large factor. A website is vital for everyone, whether you're a business owner or an artist looking to display your portfolio, or just you need strong tools to behoove your e-commerce capabilities. Squarespace has awesome third-party apps to help e-commerce platforms soar and sell, and everything you need to be a successful e-commerce guru. Highly recommend Squarespace. It's super epic. You've heard it a million times. For good reason. Go to squarespace.com, and when you're ready to buy a domain or build a website, go to squarespace.com/SLEW for 10% off. Who do you think won the painting battle? Keep watching.
I think it came out great.
Who won the battle?
Is that how it works? Is that how any art thing works?
No, I think we freaking killed it.
Absolutely.
Full day. Aidan got here at 9 o'clock, and now it is 8 p.m. So this is a full day of painting and filming, and there's nothing better. I mean, the master versus the YouTuber. Let me little critique you real quick.
Okay.
Needs more color.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You're what was it? Oh, you're chroma blind.
Yeah.
Not actually, but I mean, I'll zoom in, but everyone can see just the transitions, the roundness, like Aidan was talking about. The form is just incredible. It really is like a magic trick. The dimension, the volume on a piece of paper is just tremendous. Your turn. Say something nice, please.
I mean, yeah, my paint looks gray next to yours. If we're looking at that next to that, your colors are awesome. You got way more of the kind of warm, cold transitions. Like the nose is nice and red. That's like got some really nice green notes in it. And I feel like you got a good likeness. I feel like it looks like me for sure.
That was what I was most afraid of, is not getting a likeness or skewing some sort of shapes up, which it's not perfect. This ear, don't even look at it, but generally it was more accurate or as accurate as I was hoping, but
Yeah, I mean, 2 hours, that's a brutal time frame
It's a
to try and, get a whole face done.
I mean, do you think of this as like a sketch?
Yeah,
Because
totally.
I do, and I think that's like a great idea. It's not some finished painting, it's not some produced work, but it's a sketch.
Yeah.
And it's a life sketch.
No, it'd be like 12, 15 hours if I wanted to make like a finished head.
All right, well, thanks for coming by. That was amazing.
Yeah,
High five
absolutely.
again.
Good time. I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
Do you watch videos while you paint? Because that's such a good time to kill content is while you work.
The funny thing is, while I work, I can't. I just like,
Really?
it has to be totally silent.
Really?
Yeah.
No music?
I don't listen to anything while I work. I'm trying something different on this one. I'm trying a slightly different technique on how I'm doing this one. So we'll see if it pans out. Collection going on.
Really? I can keep this?
Yeah. I'm not doing anything with it. It's all yours, buddy.
Oh, like I need more photos of myself around here.
Yeah, he's my idol. Boogerout, favorite artist, bar none.
All right,
I love him.
Nice job. You're a great interviewee.
I do a lot of Boogerout schizo posting on my Instagram stories. I don't know. I love Boogerout, and I like the notion of kind of humanizing him in that way.
That's all. I just had the best time. And I really like doing these sort of artist profile videos, you know, with interviews and other things overlaid. So let me know what you think. I have a lot of awesome videos like those coming in the pipeline. The studio's all set up. Follow Studio SLEW if you're in New York City. Come draw, of course. I'm trying to be an ambassador here for fine arts, traditional, but in a very contemporary, fun, low stakes, and accessible way. Check out Aidan, obviously, because he is just next level. And hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video.